If you are moving to Southeast Oakville, there is a good chance you've already heard of Morrison, Old Oakville, or the Eastlake. But there's another neighborhood that many buyers completely overlook. It's called the FORD. In fact, after years of helping buyers across Oakville, I've noticed something interesting. Almost nobody asks to see the FORD first. Instead, we'll spend the day looking at homes in Morrison. We'll compare prices, talk about schools, drive different neighborhoods, then we'll cross into the FORD area and suddenly the conversation changes. These streets feel just as mature. We're still close to the lake. The homes look similar. So why is this neighborhood less expensive? That's exactly what we are going to answer today. I'm Roshan Basnet, a local real estate broker helping families buy and sell throughout Oakville, Burlington, and the West GTA. So let's start with where FORD actually is. FORD sits in the far southeast corner of Oakville, right beside the Mississauga border. It's bordered by Winston Churchill Boulevard to the east, Lake Ontario to the south, Morrison to the southwest. Then you have the old Oakville to exactly on the west, and then the established employment lands to the north. One question I occasionally get is, why is it called FORD? The answer is actually quite simple. The neighborhood takes its name from the Ford Drive, which is close tied to the nearby Ford Motor Company of Canada and the Oakville Assembly Plant. Much of this community was developed during the 1960s and 1970s when the Ford was one of the largest employers, and the name has remained ever since. Because of its location, FORD isn't a neighborhood that people casually drive through. Most of the traffic here belongs to residents or visitors. That gives the area a quieter, more residential feel than many buyers expect. Here's what I've learned after showing homes in Southeast Oakville. People rarely buy FORD because they came looking for the FORD. They buy FORD because what it offers: an established neighborhood, detached homes, generous sized lots, then you've got the mature trees, excellent schools, the lake proximity, and obviously the convenient access to both Oakville and Mississauga. Another thing buyers notice almost immediately is the atmosphere. The streets don't feel crowded at all. There aren't rows of high-rise condominiums or dense townhomes developments. Instead, the neighborhood has grown naturally over long decades. Every street has its own character. Every block feels a little different, and that's something that's becoming harder to find as newer communities continue to build at higher densities. Whenever I'm helping a family compare neighborhoods, I always ask the same question: how easy is everyday life going to be? Because buying the house is only one decision. Living there every day is the bigger one. FORD performs well. Maple Grove Shopping Center is close to everyday essentials. Maple Grove Arena is nearby for hockey, skating, and the community programs. The Clarkson Go station is roughly just 8 minutes away, and the FORD Drive gives residents quick access to both the Lakeshore Road and the QEW. That combination makes everyday life remarkably convenient, and over the years, I found that's one of the biggest reasons families choose to stay here for a very long time. If you're moving to Oakville with children, schools are probably one of the biggest reasons you're watching this video. FORD has one important characteristic that surprises many relocation buyers. There are no schools physically located within the FORD neighborhood itself. Instead, the students attend school just outside the community, primarily in the neighboring Morrison area. On the public side, most elementary students are zoned for E.J. James Public School or Maple Grove Public School, depending on your street address. The E.J. James consistently ranks among Oakville's highest performing elementary schools with a Fraser Institute score of 9.6 out of 10. That's pretty high. While while Maple Grove Public School ratings are still strong, 7.3 out of 10. For high schools, most students attend Oakville Trafalgar Secondary School, one of Oakville's top public high schools and also top 10 in Ontario with a Fraser Institute score of 9.2 out of 10. Catholic families are generally served by St. Vincent Catholic Elementary School and the Catholic Secondary School for that particular area. One thing I always tell buyers is this: never assume a home falls within a particular school catchment simply because it's nearby. School boundaries can change and they occasionally also split the streets. Before you purchase, always confirm the designated school for the exact property address. If you are relocating from outside Halton, I've also covered a complete video explaining Oakville's public school, Catholic, French immersion, and private school system, which is also on my YouTube channel. And I also have a dedicated page on my website. Please go ahead and check it out. The link is in the description. For a relatively small neighborhood, FORD offers an impressive amount of green space. There are over 8 parks. Just take a look at the map. Whether it's taking the kids to the playground, walking the dog, or simply enjoying some fresh air, you are rarely far from a park. But for me, the biggest lifestyle feature here is the lake proximity. Along the southern edge of the neighborhood is the Carrington Promenade, a peaceful waterfront pathway following the shorelines of Lake Ontario. It's perfect for a morning walk, an evening run, or simply sitting on a beach and watching the waves. That's one of the reasons Southeast Oakville has always been so desirable. Living near Lake Ontario isn't something you experience only on weekends. It becomes part of your everyday lifestyle. Let's also talk about homes. FORD is almost entirely a detached home neighborhood, giving it a consistent residential home characters that's becoming increasingly difficult to find. Most of the homes were built throughout the 1960s, 70s, and into the early 1980s. You'll find original bungalows, split-level homes. You'll find those traditional 2-story family houses as well, an increasing number of beautifully renovated properties. One thing I appreciate is that the streets don't feel repetitive. Different builders, different architectural styles. The higher density, different lot sizes. It's not here. It gives the neighborhood personality rather than cookie cutter appearance you often see on a newer subdivision. Now, here's something many buyers don't realize. South of the lake shore is the character of homes changes again. This is where you'll find some truly spectacular homes and ultra luxury waterfront estates backing directly onto the Lake Ontario. These are some of the Southeast Oakville's most impressive residences, offering exceptional privacy, breathtaking lake views, and the world-class custom architecture. While these homes represent only a small portion of FORD, they elevate the prestige of the entire neighborhood and continue to bring that long-term desirability of this area. So very good for the resale down the road. FORD offers beautiful established homes, but like many mature Oakville neighborhoods, buying here requires careful due diligence. When I'm touring homes with buyers, I'm looking well beyond the fresh paint and the designer kitchens. We're checking the roof, the windows, heating and air conditioning, the systems, electrical panel, plumbing. We're paying close attention to the grading and the drainage, especially on properties closer to the lake. We are also looking for signs of basement moisture, foundation movement, any cracks, and older sewer lines that may eventually require replacement. And just as importantly, we're also asking whether the renovations, if done done were completed properly with permits, and if the permits are actually closed or simply updated cosmetically before coming to the market. These aren't the reasons to avoid FORD, they're simply part of purchasing an older home in an established neighborhood. A thorough home inspection helps you understand what you are buying today here and what kind of maintenance you may be planning for tomorrow. Don't skip this part. That's one of the smartest investments a buyer can make. A full home inspection. Do not cheap out. Hire the best professionals. Before we wrap up, let me show you something I use whenever I'm helping buyers compare neighborhoods. I call it Realtor Roshan's Resale Score. Now, this isn't a scientific formula or an industry ranking. It's simply the framework I use after years of helping buyers and sellers throughout Oakville and Burlington evaluate neighborhoods beyond just today's purchase price. Pause the video and observe this framework. It's pretty good. The information on the left is objective market data. The stars on the right are my professional opinion about this neighborhood. Every neighborhood gets evaluated using the same exact framework. FORD earns 5-star for land scarcity. This neighborhood is essentially built out. It's surrounded by established communities, Lake Ontario and the Mississauga border. There simply isn't room for large-scale new development, and over the long term, scarcity is usually positive for property values. For functional layout, I gave FORD 3 stars. The lots are outstanding, but many homes were designed in the 1960s and 70s. Some buyers will love that character, while others will plan significant renovations to create larger kitchens, open concept living space, or more modern floor plans. For buyers' demand, I gave 4 stars. Detached homes in Southeast Oakville continue to attract strong family demand because of the schools, the mature neighborhoods, the proximity to the lake, and the convenience of commuting. For external influences, I score FORD 3 stars. Overall, it's a quiet neighborhood, but buyers should also understand there are industrial lands to the north and some transportation corridor nearby, just very close to a lot of big industrial factories. They are not deal breakers, but they are part of evaluating the neighborhood honestly. Finally, competition earns 4 stars. FORD competes against some exceptional neighborhoods including Morrison, the Eastlake area, the Old Oakville, even the Mississauga, the Clarkson area, and even parts of Lauren Park. Even with that competition, FORD continues to perform very well. When I put everything together, FORD earns an overall ratings of 4 stars out of 5 for the long-term resale strength. Now, let's take a look at what the numbers actually tell us. One thing to remember is that FORD is a relatively small neighborhood with fewer than 60 sales in most years, and one luxury sale can noticeably influence the average price. That's why I always encourage buyers to focus on the long-term trends rather than reacting to a single month. In 2025, FORD recorded 57 detached home sales with an average sale price of approximately $2 million and a median price around $1.9 million. Homes here averaged around 41 days on the market and just over 5% sold above the original asking price. During the first half of 2026, the average selling price increased to approximately $2.25 million, while the median remained around $1.85 million. One statistics really stood out is nearly 27% of homes sold above asking price in the first half of 2026. During the same period, Oakville as a whole saw fewer than 13% of homes selling above asking. That tells me buyers were competing aggressively for well-priced homes in the FORD area. Looking further back, the neighborhood has experienced impressive long-term appreciation. The average detached homes here sold for roughly $1.25 million in 2015. By the first half of 2026, 2026, that average has increased to approximately 2.25 million. Like most communities, Ford reached its peak during the 2022 market before prices normalize over the following years. The important takeaway here isn't any single year. It's that Ford has continued to demonstrate strong long-term demand despite changing market conditions. So, who do I think Ford is best suited for? If you're looking for an established detached home neighborhood with mature trees, strong school system, and then proximity to the Lake Ontario and convenient access to both Oakville and Mississauga, then yes, Ford deserves to be on your shortlist. It's particularly well suited for families who value space, who value established streets and the long-term ownership over brand new subdivision. Who should think twice? If your priority is a walkable urban lifestyle with restaurants, cafes, and shops right outside your front door, Ford may not be the best fit. Likewise, if you're looking for a condominium or townhome community with minimal maintenance, you'll find very few options here. Ford is a neighborhood that rewards buyers who appreciate land, location, and the long-term value. Ford may not have the same name recognition as Morrison or Old Oakville, but don't let that fool you. For many buyers, it offers an outstanding balance of location, the lifestyle and value, and you are very close to Lake Ontario. Also, minutes from the downtown Oakville and the Port Credit area. You are surrounded by excellent schools and living in a neighborhood that's almost entirely detached homes only with established streets and a strong sense of community is always a good thing. Sometimes the best neighborhood isn't the one everyone talks about. It's the one buyers discover after they start comparing them side by side. If you're thinking about moving to Southeast Oakville, I hope this video gives you a guide and also a clearer picture of whether Ford is right for you or not. If you'd like to explore the neighborhood in more details, please visit realtorroshan.ca where you'll find a complete Ford neighborhood guide. There you'll find school information, I've got market statistics, recent homes for sale, and then additional resources to help you make an informed decision. And if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in Oakville or Burlington, I would love the opportunity to help you. I'm Roshan Basnet and see you on my next video.